I want to buy a new house, but I just don't know if it's the right time. Hi, I'm Brittany Harrison, broker associate with Shorewood Real Estate SoCo, and I can't tell you how many times that I've heard friends and family, or even clients, make that same exact statement when considering whether it's the right time for them to buy a new home. Unfortunately, there's no easy or simple answer to that question. But what we can tell you is that home ownership is, in fact, a tried and true way to increase your net worth. Actually, homeowners have 45 times more net worth than renters over the course of their lifetime, so it's always a really good idea to buy. The better question instead are, what are the steps that I need to consider when deciding whether or not to buy? This short video is an attempt to give you some guidelines, questions you can ask yourselves, and tools that you can utilize to determine if you are ready to buy your next home.
Break me open.
The first activity that you can do I call the pleasure versus pain activity. It seems a little simple, but start by asking yourself, what would be the pleasures of moving? Is it a new backyard for your animals to run in? Is it some extra bedrooms if you're thinking of expanding your family? Could it be shorter commute to your work? There are any number of things that make the idea and prospect of moving incredibly pleasurable. Ask yourself those questions and rate the answers to those questions on a scale of 0 to 5, with 5 being the highest. At the end, tally up the points, and this ends up being your pleasure rating, i.e., the amount of pleasure it would be for you to move to a new home. Then you need to consider the pain of the current living situation in which you find yourself now. Ask yourself questions like, what are the things that make me really uncomfortable about living here? What are those non-negotiables you've continuously compromised on, and now you found yourself in a situation that's incredibly uncomfortable, maybe even seemingly a nightmare? And as you ask yourself those questions, also rank your answers on a scale from 0 to 5 and add up what becomes your pain rating, and then compare the pleasure versus pain rating. If you find yourself in a space where actually things aren't maybe as bad as you thought, maybe you consider waiting. Or if you realize, oh my gosh, this is terrible, and if I stay in this house a minute longer, I'm going insane, then it might really be time to consider moving to the next phase to determine, are you financially ready for undertaking a home? The next really important stage in determining whether you're ready for home ownership or multiple home ownership is taking your financial pulse. You should decide whether you are in a space to be able to stay where you are and are really committed to your location, or whether you might consider investing in real estate in other places. Consider a vacation home in a town that you loved to visit as a child, or maybe even in another country if you are frequently traveling internationally. Or if you're ready to be a first-time home buyer, are you really in love with the town or the city where you live and you have dreams of staying there long term? After you've decided about whether or not you're ready to settle down, then you need to start asking yourself questions like, what is my employment history? Do I have a steady and consistent job over the long haul? Is my debt under control? Do I have a pretty substantial savings? Am I feeling comfortable with my credit score? These kinds of questions, again, are very simple to ask, but give you enough information to begin the process of conversing with a mortgage loan officer and also considering hooking up with a real estate agent to get that buying process underway. Now that you've done all of this self-assessment and are empowered with information about whether or not you feel personally like this is a good time to buy, it's time to return to the market and see what are you willing to do as an actor in the current market when it comes to buying or investing in real estate. Something really important to know, I'm making this video in April of 2021, and it is an incredibly competitive market with very low inventory, making it somewhat discouraging for buyers to enter in thinking that this might not be the best time for them to buy. That's not necessarily true, however. Mortgage rates continue to be at all-time lows, and it's an affordable time to be able to invest in real estate and or buy your first home. The difficulty is returning to those questions and your self-assessment from that pain versus pleasure activity. Is the pain of your situation worth then maybe having to take some higher risks or put more money down, well over asking, to be able to get that really perfect home and move out of your current situation? These are all things to consider, but understand that as the market continues to fluctuate, so will your pain and pleasure based on your own personal life and experience. And so really the hope and the goal is to find a balance when the two are working together well enough that it is the right and perfect time for you to consider your next real estate venture. For more information and to read the full blog post that inspired this video, you can check me out on my website, www.brittanyharrisoncos.com. In the end, making the decision about whether you're ready to take that next step to buy your first or next piece of real estate property, it's entirely personal and a decision that is all your own. But if you're looking forward to having a partner in the journey who can help guide you through the process, reach out to me anytime. You can find me at my website on that Contact Me info page or on Facebook and Instagram at brittanyharrison.cos. Looking forward to continuing the conversation and wishing you all the best.